So, Kevin, am I right? He's like the most wholesome and genuine character in all of Jorvik, in my opinion. And you know me, when I'm interested in something, I go all in searching for information about that topic. So that's what I did, and after rereading the Star Academy comics for what I'm sure is like the millionth time, something occurred to me about Kevin's character. Buckle up, people, we're going for a ride. Okay, so in case you're unfamiliar with this part of the story, in the second Star Academy comic, it is revealed that Kevin is providing for his family, because his father is in jail and his mother is sick and unable to work. Throughout the entire volume, he is tired, uneasy, and stressed out from overworking himself, something that is very understandable. But this whole situation seems very strange to me, for a couple of reasons. Like, why is Kevin keeping his job secret from his friends? And even when he eventually tells them, why doesn't he say what he is doing or for whom he's working? Why doesn't he tell his sick mother how he's getting the money? And not to mention, why does he get paid in cash at night from this shady looking guy? Like, yeah, I know this is an old franchise and all, but no legit workplace would pay their workers like that. Like, ever. Nope, you cannot come here and tell me this is completely normal and nothing out of the ordinary. Something's up here and I want to know what it is. So let's start digging, shall we? So first and foremost, according to Kevin himself, Leonardo hooked him up with the right people, resulting in a night shift job at the harbor. So the first thing we want to know is what jobs are available at the harbor. Luckily, the comics are very straightforward about this. This map right here gives information about the island of Jorvik and mentions the fishing and oil industry in regards to the harbor. So it's that simple, Kevin works either in the fishing industry or the oil industry. Case closed. But we can still be more specific than that, because while we don't have a lot of information about the fishing industry in Jorvik, we do know a lot about a certain oil company. Darkor. I know, that's a pretty big leap, and I know exactly what you're thinking. Like, Kevin, the purest, kindest, most talented young man in all of Jorvik, working for Darkor. That doesn't make sense. And also, does Darkor even exist in Star Academy? Believe me, I had those exact same thoughts myself, and I didn't think it made sense at all. However, as I started looking around for more evidence, I realized that this may be more than just a hunch. In fact, despite Star Academy being considered a spin-off from Starshine Legacy and having its own unique lore and everything, Darkor is mentioned in the comic as one of the most important companies of the island. So yes, Darkor 100% exists within Star Academy. Coincidence? Well, maybe. But let me ask you this. Doesn't this silhouette seem oddly familiar to you? Do we know anyone in Jorvik who has this broad kind of shape and is wearing a cloak? Oh yeah, that's right, the Darkor Goons. And how about this? The guy is described as a shady looking character, and who else do we know that commonly go under that description? That's right, the Darkor Goons. Additionally, I do think this would also explain Kevin's weird behavior throughout this whole volume. Because even though Darkor is considered an important company to the inhabitants of Jorvik, they still are a pretty sketchy company that has been involved in a lot of scandals. They don't exactly strike me as very popular amongst the younger generation, and it's most certainly not the first place you go to get work if you can help it. So of course Kevin doesn't want to tell his friends about working for Darkor. How do you think they'd react if he did? I mean, can you imagine Lisa's reaction? Sheesh. And what do you think his poor mother would say if she knew that her son is getting involved with Darkor because of her condition? She wouldn't be too happy about that, would she? Quick side note here, by the way, I think that by the end of the story, the Parthenon would be able to heal Kevin's mother as well, to give them their happy ending. Just saying. Anyway, this would also fit with the fact that Kevin's getting paid in the sketchiest way possible, which is, you know, in cash, in a dark alleyway. With all the dark stuff going on at Darkor, I can almost guarantee that there are some illegal conditions going on as well. Like, for example, paying their workers in cash to avoid tax, aka tax fraud. Hiring illegal workers or having them do illegal work. The fact is that Kevin is a 16-year-old boy who's desperate for work to keep his family afloat, and he's not telling anyone what he's doing or for whom. It's strangely fitting, isn't it? Now, at this point, I'm sure that some of you are still very reluctant to this idea and think that this can't be right. Like for instance, if he was working for Darkcore, wouldn't he be working at an oil platform out in the sea and not at the harbor? Well, not necessarily. You see, while Darkcore is more commonly associated with offshore platform, they also have workplaces on the coast of Jorvik, like this place in Starshine Legacy Episode 4, which then later returns with an oil leak in Star Stable The Spring Riders. They even occupy the Moorland Beach in SSO as well as the place above Vale Lake. And besides, the harbor is there for ships to dock and manage their load. There would definitely be Darkcore ships and ferries docking there to load and unload their oil and, secret dark stuff. Oh, and not to mention that Darkcore seems to mostly operate at nighttime. Which makes sense, considering all the dark stuff they don't want to be caught doing. No, but seriously, all the Darkcore scenes in the original games happen at nighttime. Well, all except this one, which hardly counts as a Darkcore scene. And this place right here is completely unattended in the Spring Riders, which is supposed to be played during daytime. The point is, Darkcore operates at nighttime and Kevin is working a night shift job. The evidence is piling up. Wake up, people! So before ending this video, I want to say that the last thing I wanted to figure out was whether or not Leonardo has ever mentioned any of his contacts. Because he was the one who got him the job in the first place, so surely he must know someone within the job. Now, Leonardo did offer payment for performing in his ice cream parlor, which explains why Kevin went to him in the first place, but seeing as he doesn't sing or dance, he obviously couldn't perform and had to do something else. Sadly though, I couldn't find a single mention of Leonardo's contacts in either the games or the comics, so there's that. The only thing I found that could possibly be related to this is the fact that he used to be known as Jorvik's local hero. Whatever that means. But anyway, that will be everything I managed to gather for this theory, and honestly, my conclusion is that he works for Darkcore. That makes it a little bit interesting as well, doesn't it? So obviously I want to hear your thoughts and opinions about this, so leave them down below. Do you think that he works for Darkcore like I think? Or do you think he's just working for that mysterious fishing industry that we just don't know anything about and he just doesn't want to tell anyone? Tell me down below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, I'll see you around. Bye!